10. If you thought the game was fun up to this point, well, or at least somewhat challenging, this is where Lolo starts to become a bag of dicks. Yes, you heard me. Every one of these levels pretty much requires you to be pretty flawless on your execution, and one little mess up will send everything, well, in the wrong direction. There could be multiple solutions to these maps, but honestly, some of them are very precise. You do something, or you are boned. This one, for instance, you pretty much need to make sure you have all 4 of those blocks over there to the left available, because you're going to need them. And like so many other stages where you have to push bricks around, pushing one of them just slightly off kilter can really, well, cause you to restart the entire level again. So those are always fun. Essentially, the last few levels are what I would say where the actual puzzle part of the game comes in. There are some definite difficult sections where you have to sit down. You will probably die multiple times trying to figure out exactly where you need to put every little thing. And then you'll finally figure out the solution. And then most likely you'll die a couple more times while you try to get that solution to work perfectly. Because sometimes, things just don't work out quite as planned. With this one, for instance, it took me a little while to figure out exactly where I needed to put those pieces, because it's pretty easy to figure out you need to trap those guys, but you need to do something about these skeletons, and without putting that block there and having that guy stand in the way, you would pretty much, well, be eaten alive by skeletons. So, next level. This one's actually, it kind of puzzled me at first, because I thought you needed to move the narcoleptic goblins into advantageous positions, but you really can just pretty much ignore them. So long as you get that guy right there, and you know where the shots are, you can pretty much put these goblins anywhere you want them to. For instance, I usually just do this. Now, granted, the way I just did it, you have to know that the shots are in this upper right box and the lower left box. Otherwise, you could go for one of the corners that doesn't have a shot, and you would be boned, because you would not have any more shots to complete the level. Well, after doing this a few times, you figure out exactly which ones are which, and you know exactly which ones you need to go after. And this one, almost botched that. But the solution is simpler than it looks. And we get the last heart, and it's pretty much smooth sailing. Now, you can try to arrange the guys up here, but then you have to worry about that particular guy here shooting you when you walk slowly through the grass, because, well, he doesn't like you walking in his grass. He hates that kind of thing. This one, again, kind of seems puzzling at first, and right off the bat you might think, well, I need to use these guys to block off the Medusas down here. And you do, you just don't do it right away. You need to use them for platforms first. Once you do that, then you can move on to the whole, trapping them in the corner. Now, we get this, we're done with him, we go over here, repeat the process, grab this heart, and do the same thing here. We push this down, and we grab the heart above him. Now here's where things vary a little bit. You're going to want to kind of hang out, put this guy down here, and before he comes out of his egg, shoot him off. You don't want him to be there. Then you want to hit this rock, escape, and let your green guy pop back up into place. Now that you've got him back, we trap laser demon guy in that hole, and we're out of here. This one, again, you have to do all this in a particular order. You grab those shots. You're going to move this guy up. Lock this demon off just long enough to grab this. Come on. Oh. Alright, well, now I'm boned. You need to get rid of that egg before he reverts back, or you're out a shot. And you need to have every single shot that you get from these hearts to make it through this level. So you grab this, shoot that off, run before you get lasered. Then we can start pushing these down to get these hearts down here. Now the thing is that you're going to have to watch out for this guy now that he's loose, moving back and forth like this. So don't jump in there immediately and get yourself killed, because he will do it. No! No! Ugh. Well, it was going flawlessly until that happened. Something in my throat there. Well. Alright, so we're going to go this again. We might get it right this time. Once again, you can always escape him. You just have to make sure immediately hit down, or else you're going to get lasered in the face. And lasering in the face, not as good as it sounds. And it sounds pretty terrible. Alright, so let's try this again. Remember, the trees do not stop them, so you need to move this guy all the way up behind those rocks. Get that? No! And here's where it gets hard. You know the puzzle solution, but you need to do it perfectly. And, well, my controller doesn't like me very well, so it kind of hurts me in the long run. Alright, so let's try this again. We know the solution. We're going to get it right this time. And alright, dun-dun-dun. I think there's only one, maybe 2 rooms after this, so it might be a little long video, but it shouldn't be a terrible one. Alright, we got this. We can move this guy over. You dumb controller. Oh, again. You might think one is enough, but it's not gonna work. Alright. Alright, if the controller gets me again, I'm just going to plug it, or unplug it, throw it away, and go back to keyboard, because let's be honest, I don't want to sit here and do this all night. You probably don't want to sit here and watch it all night. And it's not always me. I mean, I'm fairly decent at video games. And I think I just botched this up already. Yep. Oh boy. Alright, well, I've got just long enough. Let's see if I can't... Come on. Alright, no. We've got this going. Alright, and this again. I don't plan on doing any of the other Lolo games because, well, they've been done on the YouTubes plenty of times, and I'm pretty sure nobody wants to watch, like, 7 different playthroughs of The Adventures of Lolo 9 through 21. Alright, we got it this time. But, I mean, I never really played the earlier Lolos as a kid, so it wasn't really... It's not really something or the later Lolos, I mean, as a kid, so it's not important to me to really complete them. I just wanted to get this one out of the way. Alright, so we got this stage done. I trap him in the corner out of spite. And see, you need that one shot. You have to have that shot, or you're not going to get out of the level. Alright, this one seems fairly difficult, but it's probably the easiest stage out of the whole floor 10. You just gotta know what you're gonna do. You have to block off this Medusa, because no matter what, it will kill you if you try to pick up the pearl. Otherwise, you run down here, grab this, and you win the game. I think. It's the last stage, right? Yep, it's the last stage. She seems rather apprehensive for a guy who's just, went through an entire dungeon of hell to save her. She's just kind of like, alright, well. And you're greeted with, well, trees regrowing, I guess. Not that they're going to help you, because they don't stop Medusa bolts. But anyway, this has been the Adventures of Lolo, and I'm Ampillion. Like I said, I want to get around to doing some Minecraft, and it requires me to purchase the game, which I will get around to doing once I have more than $10 in my bank account. I'll probably do some Dwarf Fortress. It'll probably be just a little tutorial. Not anything too in-depth as far as the game goes, because I'm not 100% familiar with the newest version, but I know enough about it to, set out what needs to be done with the game, and it might help some other people out who are having problems with it. And I kind of like it's kind of what the Minecraft reminded me of, was a Dwarf Fortress kind of game. Even though they're not really all that similar, it's just that whole crafting the world thing that gets me. When you can shape the world and control everything about it, even to the finest details, that's the kind of game that gets me. So, this is, I don't think there's anything I can do. No. Alright. That's all for Lolo. Until next time, have a good one.